All right, guys, it's 5 p.m., so we're gonna go ahead and kick our work session off. I did ask Mayor Hubbard to open us up in prayer tonight, so if we could just stand, join us in prayer.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to come together tonight. Lord, we're just thankful for the pretty weather. Lord, we ask that you be with our servicemen and women overseas. Lord, be with our national state leaders, and we ask that you be with us as we conduct our city's business tonight. We just hope that our decisions are pleasing unto you. In your son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mayor Hubbard, for that. Okay, first on the agenda, it is considered old business. Discussion that is necessary to enter into an agreement with Safe Haven Baby Boxes to install a location at Station 1 of Sylacauga Fire Department. I know you guys discussed this in the meeting that I was not able to make it, but the circumstances are a little different now because the contract would means that we're financially responsible for installation and so on and so forth. And I know that there was some discussion about them doing some fundraisers and raising money. But if we enter into a contract, no matter how much money they raise or if they don't raise any money, the city is obligated to pay the upfront costs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And that upfront cost is
I think, is it 40,000, Cassie?
40 even, isn't it?
But they're gonna try to raise 40,000 to make sure that they're covering all of the costs that was anticipated.
But,
Chief Osgood sent a couple of quotes today that he had.
We have it in our packets. And this is something that Chief Osgood had looked into previously. Actually, he and I discussed it several years ago. And this, I think,
it's the second thing in your package. I will say this. I do think this is a good idea. I just don't think Sylacauga is big enough for something like this. And this is just me. But if they were to come up with the $40,000 and pay the upfront installation costs, then I wouldn't mind getting on board with paying, $600 annually after the installation costs. But I just don't think the city should come up with the $40,000 upfront costs.
I don't have an issue.
I think we're misunderstanding it. They're not asking the city to front anything.
But
They are,
No.
if Tim, do you mind explaining the,
and I could be mistaken.
we're only a safety net. That's all, we're not fronting anything.
Okay,
And
but-
nothing would happen until funds are raised. So we can't raise funds until a contract is signed by the city with Safe Haven. So because they'll allow us to have a dedicated fundraising link where the money that's raised goes directly to them to cover the cost of the box. And then any funds that are additional will come to help cover costs of installation and service fees. So the city is not being asked to front any dollar, not one dime.
Okay.
We're dedicated, as ACT Families, we're dedicated to raising any amount of necessary funds. And that's $16,500 up front for the box. Whatever it costs after that.
Okay, I probably got some misinformation, because remember, I wasn't here, so I do apologize, and thank you for explaining. So let me ask this, so if we enter into the contract, and Cassie, you step in and correct me if I'm wrong, because you and I were talking about this, so if we enter into the contract, is the contract saying that if they're not able to raise the $40,000, that the city will be obligated to pay that amount, or we wait until the $40,000 is raised and then we start the process?
So it's kind of it's similar to like a grant situation. We have to commit, no matter what, that the money will be paid and the expenses will be covered. So the city does have to obligate money for it, but they have to have this contract to be able to even ask for it.
To ask for the first dollar, there has to be a signed agreement.
often with grants. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the same concept.
I'm fine with.
I am too, I'm 100%.
And I'll tell you,
Makes
it doesn't matter to us if it takes a week or 3 years to raise the 40 grand, that's what we're committed to doing.
Okay,
From what I can tell from the contract, there's not a timeline of it has to be completed within a such and such time. So if it takes them longer to raise those funds, we're not obligated to pay it It's just simply, if they
That's correct.
abandoned the project,
Yeah.
we would still be obligated to finish the project
Yeah.
at some point.
And I just wanna make sure I understand, because
Sure.
we have to operate off of a budget, and I
I
don't
get
wanna promise $40,000 that we haven't budgeted.
No, and the
for.
40, let me just say up front, the 40 grand is an estimate. That's what we're estimating to need to raise for this thing to be seen to completion, from dollar one to install and walk away. And that includes multiple years of covering the alarm service fee and the box service fee at $600. I think it's about $600 a year for the annual service contract. But we're committed to doing that and making sure the city is not out a dime for at least the first couple of years of this thing being installed. So that's that process. But again, we can't even go public with fundraising until a contract is entered into place. And they're good if it takes us 3 years. They don't care. They just know that we're trying to make it happen. We're doing everything we can do to get that to be done. And our goal, we wouldn't ask the city to be out any money, especially in those first couple years of operation.
Okay.
And your statement earlier about Sylacauga not big enough for this, completely disagree with that statement, in all due respect.
Yeah, we can agree to disagree, that, I
Sure.
really don't, that's just how, you know,
But
I
these-
just think we were.
Honestly, the prayer is this box would never be used.
Amen.
But if it's needed, it's here. It's just like having a military. We don't ever want to use it, but if we have to, it's here. Like having anything else, we want to be more prepared than unprepared. We want to be proactive instead of reactive. And with stories that have been in the news lately about babies being left in suitcases, in garbage bags, in closets, we want to make sure our goal as ACT Families is we want our community to be one of those bright lights in the state that says, hey, we're here. We're here for moms, we're here for dads, we're here for parents, we're here for babies, and we're here for those families that say we want to adopt. We want to make this happen in our family.
All right, and I understand
I mean-
that, I understand that, but as you can see from my stance, I have to be financially responsible on the city
So
side.
do we, because we're entering into an agreement with the city as well. It may only be a verbal agreement, but I'm telling you, like, we're not taking this lightly one bit. We're entering into a verbal agreement with Matt, with you, with the entire city, that we're dedicated to however long this takes to cover every dime of installation cost, we're in it.
So Cassie, is it a verbal agreement or is it a contract?
It's a contract. We do.
There is a written contract between the city and Safe Haven Baby Box. Us as ACT Families, we're saying, we have verbally agreed now in a second meeting in a second city council meeting that we're here to raise the funds for this.
And I will review the contract to be sure it doesn't obligate us to do it until, I'm not doubting what you're saying, but I need to review the contract again before it's signed.
Oh, okay, I thought you did.
I did review it, but I need to review it again. That's
Okay.
what we had a meeting.
You can come up, and I just spoke with Cassie about this week, so that's why I have all the questions I have, because I was just under the understanding that, you know, we can say our grace, you guys can move forward, but once the contract comes into place, and then, you know, after speaking with Cassie, it's saying that we were gonna be obligated whether the funds were raised or not, then there did have to be some more discussion on it.
Yeah, but like I said, we're in it for the duration.
So, I think Greer has some
Yes,
questions.
I understand what you're saying about a verbal agreement between Sylacauga, City of Sylacauga and ACT Families. Would you be willing to put that in a contract?
Bring it,
agreement?
we'll sign it. We're good,
You
but we're
can,
part
you
of
can come
it.
up, please, because it's just hard to hear. Oh, I gotta put my microphone on. It's just hard to hear from.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry.
No, I completely understand.
Yeah.
So, the first contract is the one between the city and Safe Haven Baby Box. There is a second contract that is a fundraising contract that I will personally put my name on. So I think that might answer your question, Greer, is, yes, we are putting our stamp that if it takes a year, 3 years, 8 years, we are committed to raising the money.
Okay. That's cool.
And that doesn't lock you all in to
Yeah, and-
anything. That's us, that's between us and Safe Haven to say, we're now responsible for raising the funds.
We are responsible as,
Well, I think it's something positive.
I do too.
I agree.
I also want to put your mind at ease. We have had, even though we can't go public and take any dollars, we have multiple organizations and individuals who are ready to put money down today. Get asked on a regular basis, when can I give? And we have to say, not yet, just hold on.
Well, this should be a countywide initiative, because most of the places I've looked into about this, there is only one in the county. And as you said, it's good that no one's using it, because in Opelika, they put one in 2024, and there's never been anybody placed in that box. But that's the only one in Lee County, so we do need to spend some time getting the word out.
And that's where we'll ask for your help, because the agreement has to be between the city and Safe Haven, but for promotion, for fundraising promotion, for the, hey, we've got this here in our community, that's where we need your help as the council and as the media and as the population to say, here's a resource that we've installed in our community, but this isn't just for residents of Sylacauga.
Right.
This is for anybody from anywhere. They can drive from any community to utilize this if it ever becomes necessary.
I know Montgomery and Prattville
Yeah.
also has installed them, and they've had people who've actually used them.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so,
Muscle Shoals has had a
Yes.
baby in their box as well.
And
Right.
Alex City has a brand new one as well.
Yeah, and Foley just brought one as well.
Is the 72 hours something that Safe Haven comes up with, or is that something that?
What is it?
The 72 hours? that-
What-
it's something
what's
that
72 hours?
What he said.
Only have 72 hours from the time the baby's,
No, I think you're referring to the Safe Haven law
yes.
in Alabama. That's the
Yeah,
state, that's a
State law.
state bill that has passed in our
So does that mean
house.
you cannot use the box after 72 hours?
No, that's 72 hours from, so the way this works, the process of surrender is if let's just for sake of example, a mom says, I have an infant and I can no longer care for this baby. Once that mom delivers that baby, places that child in that box, and all the necessary steps happen, a 911 call, all the alarms go off and the baby's being cared for, that is an act of surrendering the child, which means I have no longer have any rights as a parent to that child. So that's what that Safe Haven surrender law is. It's saying now that child is in custody of the state for permanency with another family immediately. And so the 72 hours that we have is, like in the process of a private adoption, the mom, dad can say, hey, we're making this adoption plan for our child or our children, and within 72 hours, they have the right to reverse their course. But that has nothing to do with this, because this is the safe surrender law that's in effect. That's immediate. And the condition of anonymity with these boxes is what makes them kind of an attractive deal for some parents who are saying, I don't want to go to a hospital where I don't know who I'm going to see. I don't want to walk into a fire station or a police station because I don't know who I'm going to see. You can imagine the flood of just contradictory emotions that are going on in the mind and in the body of mom and dad when that happens. So the opportunity for them to say, this is under total anonymity, I can go, my baby will be safe, my baby will be cared for, my baby will be medically checked up on, and then placed with a family who is going to love him or her.
Okay. But back to what you were saying about the contract. So by entering into the contract, the city's not financially obligated to pay anything unless we decide to, right?
Unless you want to.
Yeah.
You're welcome to.
Yeah, but that's just what I needed to make sure, because we do have to be good stewards and we do have to plan. That's the only thing. We just have to make sure we're
Yeah.
planning.
And that's what we want to do too. We're planning on our end to help you plan in the future. That's why we want to raise the money to cover the first couple of years of operation and service fees, is to help this not be an immediate, this is not meant to be a burden on anyone or any entity or any organization. This is meant to be a good thing put in place so that we can plan for the future to say, okay, if it's $1,200 a year for alarm service and service contract fees, you'll know that, but you're not out anything right now. That's why we want to cover the lump sum up front.
Well, thank you so much for coming to explain that, because the way it was explained to me was once we signed the contract, that whether you guys raised money or not, we were on the hook for the 40, for whatever the upfront cost was.
Yeah, and the cost of the box itself is $16,500. That's what Safe Haven's worried about. That's because they're manufacturing those boxes. So that's where I think if there's anything that would be considered out if we weren't to raise the funds.
Like some construction costs or a place.
Well, construction costs come after that, but the initial upfront cost just to get the box, for us to go and pick up a box from Safe Haven Baby Boxes is $16,500. So if there's anything that's out, it would be that, and you all just sit with a baby box in a parking lot, but that, if we weren't able to raise any more funds, but that's not gonna be the case. Like I said, we've got several people who are basically knocking on our door saying, how can I give, when can I give, when's this gonna be pushed through, we're ready to go. And we do have some contractors that are being discussed as well. We're having talks with them about discounted or donated opportunities for materials, for labor, anything else. So we're hoping that if we set a target goal of 40K, we're hoping this thing comes in a lot less than that, and we're covered for the next, I don't know, 5 to 10 years on any fees, but minimum, we're looking at least 2 years to cover fees.
All right, well, like you said, hopefully this is something we can have in Sylacauga and never have to use.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Excuse me, Ken.
Yep.
Is there another agreement that says that about the fundraising?
The second agreement will come to us as the partner organization for the fundraising. That's where we enter into an agreement that says we do agree to raise the funds for the box, which is, again, that 16.5 primarily with Safe Haven, but then any other additional fees that we raise, or funds that we raise, go toward the installation of the box and service. So that'll be between us as ACT Families and Safe Haven Baby Box. That won't be an agreement with the city at all.
But the city is gonna be paying initially for the construction for the box to be.
No, that's us. So, but if there's any fees that the city is out because of construction, that will be covered by the funds that we're raising for construction and installation. And that's, yeah, we can't do any of that until the box is purchased.
It's in stages.
Yeah, we've got to make sure that the plan is mapped out, but we can't do step one of mapping out the plan until we have contracts in place.
It's a tiered fundraising, if you will.
And Chief Osborne has a location for it already. I mean, on our side, Chief has that location designated, and he has his plan in place. He's gotten quotes, but if they get the labor donated, then, I mean, it's pretty much like that.
Yeah.
Well, I know that's what everybody's working on, to get it done without costing anything, but we don't know that at this point.
We don't know that at this point because we really can't, we're not even supposed to be discussing it without a contract in place, to be honest with you, but we are.
Let me ask this, because I think there's probably a sense of urgency, because you guys did say you had some people waiting to donate. So, in the contract, does it clearly say, because I only talked about this with Cassie, I'm just trying to see if there's a way to agree to enter into the contract by also not holding the city liable. You see what I'm saying? So that they're not being held up, but we're also not committing to the cost.
It's not in this contract.
What's not in there?
That it will be paid, whether it's 40,000 or whatever it is, 40,000 or less, that you all will raise that amount of money.
That comes after, so yeah, I understand that's not in that contract. That contract is strictly saying, we as the city of Sylacauga agree to have a Safe Haven Baby Box, which is a licensed product from Safe Haven Baby Box Incorporated. We agree to enter into an agreement that will be installed in our city, because we can't do that on our own. The problem comes from, in the past, there have been organizations try to buy a Safe Haven Baby Box and come to their city, and the city goes, we don't want that put in here. So now they're sitting with a box where they're sitting with nothing, but they, the funds, they also have had people who have used the name Safe Haven Baby Box for fundraising with no intention of bringing a box to their community. So that's why the steps have to be in place, that there's got to be a contract in it. And I haven't seen it to tell you that there's a clause, an out clause, or a you're on the hook clause, either way. I can honestly tell you, I don't see how 16.5 is going to be a problem once we start to be able to put this out publicly. I don't see how 40K is going to be a problem once we start to put this out publicly.
Let's do this. I just don't want to, I'm only one person. I just don't want to agree, and I trust you, I believe you. You haven't given me a reason not to. I'm just now meeting you. But I just don't want to enter into the contract and then we are financially obligated. So let's just let Wynn look over that, and we'll come back to it at the end of the work session and see if he sees that clause while he's over there looking at it.
Okay.
All right. So we'll just look over it. We're gonna,
And let me meet with you just.
all right. And we're gonna come back to it. We're gonna go ahead and, check off some of the other items while you do that, okay?
It's not on the agenda to vote on tonight anyway.
Well, no, it won't be to next time, but in order for it to be on the agenda to be voted for next time, we have to,
But he'd still have 2 weeks, wouldn't he,
yeah, but
after today?
we just wanna go ahead and get the discussion out of the way, you
Okay.
see? That way.
That's fine.
Agreement together between the city of Sylacauga.
I don't think that's how it works. I think it's a standard agreement, but that's what I'm saying.
The agreement is between the city of Sylacauga and Safe
Safe
Haven
haven.
Baby Box.
Yeah, so that's a standard agreement.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no changing those usually.
It's not, but Wynn still needs to go through it and make sure that the
That
questions,
still doesn't protect us from ACT families collecting all the money to make this happen and holding the city of Sylacauga harmless, I guess you'd say.
does he, is there 2 agreements, Cassie, or just one?
So there's 2 different parts of the agreements for the city. Then there's a separate agreement that ACT families will have to complete
With Safe Haven.
with Safe Haven. There's no agreement between ACT families and the city.
All
So
right,
they're, that bridging for the fundraising, they're making a commitment to Safe Haven.
That's right.
Not us.
all right. But we're not making a financial commitment, right?
That's what Wynn will have to
All right, all right, okay. And we'll just come back to that. All right, so next on the, agenda is discussion, by Sam Worcester. It's really not discussion, but Sam from the Housing Authority. He's just gonna give us an update on things that are going on in the Sylacauga Housing Authority. And thank you so much, Sam, for coming out and doing this for us.
Glad to. Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me. Just give y'all a little bit of information on the Housing Authority. We have 626 public housing units. Of those, 390 are elderly and disabled housing. 236 are family units. 345 of the 626 are 1-bedroom units. So we house a lot of single people and couples. 153 are 2-bedroom, 88 3-bedroom, 21 4-bedroom, and we have 2 5-bedrooms and 3 studio apartments. We have 168 apartments that are wheelchair accessible, and our total population is around 1,050 at any given time, which means we house approximately 9% of the population of the city of Sylacauga. We're subsidized by HUD through the capital fund grant and a subsidy amount that we get every year. Last year, the capital fund amount was 1.7 million, and our subsidy was 1.6. We had a total budget of a little over $5.5 million. We're in the process. Our fiscal year ends June 30th, so we're in the process now of getting our budget ready for actually fiscal year 2027. And we're projecting it to be around $5.5 million also. We're governed by a 5-member board, and the day-to-day operations are directed by the executive director, which is me. Currently, we have 32 full-time employees, 3 part-time employees, and we also have a contract with the Childersburg Work Release to provide up to 14 workers a day, which they help us with our grounds crew and our turnarounds for when we get apartments. When apartments are empty, we're getting them ready to rent. Our mission statement, our mission at the Housing Authority is to provide drug-free, decent, safe, and sanitary housing for eligible families. Every year, HUD issues a score to all the housing authorities in the country, and it's called the FOS score, that stands for Public Housing Assessment System. You have to score above 90 to be designated as a high performer. We've been designated high performer every year since I've been there, since 2019, except for last year when HUD miscalculated our inspection score and we got an 89. So I've appealed that, and we're expecting that to be rectified any day now. But the score is based on inspections, your management, financial condition, and capital fund management. So.
What about some of your special projects you guys have going over there, Sam? I know y'all usually like around probably just about all the holidays, y'all have certain events too that you guys host.
Yeah, we got, our resident services manager is Philip Keith, and he kind of acts as a liaison between the housing authority and all the different service agencies around town. He refers a lot of people to SAFE, which, you know, I know y'all are familiar with them and all the many programs that they provide, which is really good for our residents. And they're housed right there on our property, which is great for us too, and we're so proud to have them there. He assists with like local food resources, applications for Social Security, food stamp, rental assistance, utility assistance, and other financial and health related services. We have a lot of programs or a lot of activities and festivities like bingo and blood pressure clinics, Medicare workshops, resource fairs, Alabama Cooperative Extension workshops. We do the spring fling every year. We're getting ready to do that next week for while the kids are out on spring break. It'll be a big event with games and all kind of activities. We're gonna have a petting zoo this year. So
Oh, wow.
encourage everybody to come by. We're expecting a lot of kids. Weather's gonna be good, I think, so. Yeah, and I also wanted to get in here that we had our audit for the 5th year in a row with no findings last month, so we're proud of that. Also, we just had our HUD inspection on Sylvan Court and Sylvan Towers, and we scored a 97 and a 99 respectively, so we're off to a real good start, and we expect to be back high performer status this year for sure. I know y'all are interested, everybody's interested in what's going on with the Burley Collins Center. As you know, we took that over a couple of years ago, and we're got big plans to have, to have a recreational center there in the neighborhood for Drew Court and the surrounding residents. And it took us a while, like it does with everything the federal government does. It takes a while. So we finally got around to getting it. We talked with the HUD and we got it in our annual and our 5-year plan, and we got it approved for the first 2 years and started working. Spent $130,000, a little over $130,000 on the roof. Got a brand new roof put on, and then we got a call from HUD and told us that we had to halt all work on it because it hadn't been officially added to our inventory yet. So we stopped the work, and we're waiting on them to give us approval to start back. I sent them an email last month, and I got an email back saying that it had been sent to the engineers and they would let us know if and when it's approved. So we're expecting that hopefully anytime too.
I got another question, Sam. I know you said y'all house about 90-something% of the population. What does your waiting list look like?
No, it's 9%.
9%. I thought you said 9%.
No.
What does your waiting list look like?
We got a really good waiting list for 1-bedrooms. I don't know if you caught it or not, but like 345 of the 626 are 1-bedrooms. And we have I guess it's baby boomers or what have you, but we have a really good waiting list all the time for 1-bedrooms and 2-bedrooms. And we've got people for 3s, 4s, and 5s. We only have a couple of 5s and a few 4s, but the wait list is not as long for those. But we usually by the time we get one turned around, we're ready to house. We don't have many. We don't have them. That's one thing that counts on that score is how long your apartments are vacant. You don't get subsidy for days that your apartments are vacant, so we try to make that a priority to get them to turn around and rent it, and we do a pretty good job of that. We do a real good job.
And it's a good thing to have that waiting list, so as soon as you get them turned, you can put somebody in them.
Right, and just since you asked, we've got a 4 and a 5 bedroom now that we'd be glad for people to apply. Anybody that needs 4 and 5 bedrooms, we're always looking, 3s, 4s, and 5s, we're always looking for people to apply for those.
Thanks for that update, Sam. Do you guys have any questions? You have any questions for Sam?
No, Nate answered my question. I was just asking, if any of it was in the county. He said no.
No, it's all in the city.
So you don't even have to ask them to annex?
Good meeting today, Sam. We also, at our meeting today, we also passed an operational budget.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
good meeting today, and as you know, I'm a very opponent of the housing authority. They do really good work. They've got one of the best boards they've probably had in quite some time now, so
Yep.
we appreciate you, Sam.
All right, thank
And
you.
one of our nicest apartment complexes around. Our
That's true.
housing authority doesn't look like the ones that are all over, everywhere else. Like, it
right.
stands out,
Very
and that's a good thing. Yeah, we're very fortunate.
We take pride in that, and thank you for saying that, too.
Yeah, thank you, Sam.
Thanks.
All right, thank y'all.
All right, next on the list is discussion that is necessary by GFL regarding a request for CPI increase of 3% to be effective April 1st, 2026. You doing all right tonight? He was just, he got caught up, didn't you? No, I know I seen him come in. This is GFL. How you doing tonight?
Doing good. So I come to y'all for the annual 3% increase to keep up with the inflation of the contract. This year, to be honest with you, 3% ain't gonna touch it, due to the fuel for the stuff overseas. For another example of it, kind of a shell shocker for me today was, cart process, called it's a petroleum product. Last year was $95. This year is $128 per cart now. So that was an extreme much increase that we didn't see coming. But, 3% is what the contract says, that's what we'll take. So that's pretty much all I've got on it.
All right, and I think tonight, guys, the issue isn't whether or not we're gonna give the increase. We just have to decide how we're gonna, basically, is the city gonna absorb the cost, or are we gonna pass it on to the residents?
I think we need to absorb the cost. That's what we've been doing.
I agree.
And it hasn't affected our budget one way or another, so.
No.
Well, Kathy laid out a few options in front of us, and everybody has a chart in front of them. And what, and the mayor, you've looked at this too, right?
Does he tell anybody?
Huh?
Does he tell anybody?
Yeah, because I've asked the questions for him.
Oh, well, he said he has some questions for you. I'm just gonna go over this. And I'm gonna say the mayor and our interim city clerk, they have a, a recommendation for us. And it's the one in the pink. If you look at the one in the pink, it, well, just look at them. Cassie may have to get up and explain this to us. My only issue is, and I just realized this today, is that I think the last time that we passed the cost onto the citizens, it was an overall cost, and some of the people who got additional cans, of course, they increased the cost, but the people who didn't get an additional can, they got a cost increase too. So what we did was take the overall cost, we divided it over the amount of people that had a can, and then pushed the increase to the citizens. Last time, we did absorb it. My only thing is, I don't wanna, if I only got one can, I don't wanna receive an additional cost because you're going up on the cost for people who are having 2 or 3 cans. Now, if you got more than one can, you should receive an increase. That's just my thoughts. But I also wanted to know what was gonna be the increase on dumpsters too. That wasn't a part of our, that's not on my sheet.
Oh, don't hold me to it, I believe the contract is just flat 3% across the board on the.
Okay.
So I'd have to verify
Is this
that.
just a flat
3% dumpster.
I think that's how the contract works.
So if you look at this pink one, this one actually, the people with one can, it actually goes down, I think it's about, what is it, about 40 cents?
No, that's up 50 cents.
No, it's not.
I paid $18
It's
for a
down,
can.
it's down 46 cents. This is what you're paying, this is what you should be paying, so they may need to go back and check your account. You probably owe them some money. This is how much it is. This is what they're paying for one can right now.
I'm telling you, it's $18 on utility bill.
Yeah, 1896, that's what I have in front of me, 1896, but if we go with the proposed
Mr.
plan,
John probably put that in there before he left or something, so I may be getting a discount.
you probably get special treatment. But as of right now, if we go with the one in the pink, that goes down 46 cents.
I'm in.
But,
But it's not fair, the people who have additional carts go up $4 and some change.
But the city's absorbing.
Laura, no, we're not, it's not going up $4 and some change. Somebody do the math. What's 875 minus 950? What is that, 70? It's 75 cents. Look, we're on the pink. This is what the mayors in Cass and them are proposing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, it only goes up 75 cents, but that's for additional cans.
I see that now.
I think we should, you see what I'm saying?
See, this other number, the 524, threw me off over here. That's the one I was looking at.
That's the curve.
So that is,
75 to 90.
that's what the difference is we are charging less for additional carts than what we're being charged.
Yes, so
Gotcha.
we're
So that would
absorbing
trigger-
all of that cost. But for the additional cans, I don't think we should be doing that.
So what are you proposing, how we fix it?
The pink one, I'm proposing the pink one. I'm proposing that it's gonna go down, if you only got one can, it's gonna go down 46 cents.
Right,
For each additional can, you are gonna pay, it's gonna increase 75 cents.
okay.
Okay,
that makes more sense.
It's not-
It's about $4 or so.
Yeah.
$4, $9.50.
Yeah.
From 524 that they are paying now,
Yeah, to the,
up to the.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, it's gonna go up
okay.
before.
I think we need to do that.
I don't,
Alright.
that's a hefty increase though.
But think about it, Lord, these are additional cans, but the people who only have the one can,
They would not get that.
they're not getting an increase. You see what I'm saying? But they've been receiving the increase across the board, whether they got an additional can or not. But these are for additional cans, this isn't for the one can. And remember, additional cans are a choice. They don't have to have the additional cans.
And we have not gone up on that in the past. In fact, we've been charging less than what it's cost us for how many years?
Yeah.
And I would also just add, just kind of a big picture, as far as Talladega County, y'all have got the cheapest rate in Talladega County.
Right.
County residents are paying right at $29 a home for one can. Talladega is in the mid 20s. Childsburg is 24 and some change.
So we're just trying to, and we get it, you know, and we agree everything has gone up. We are gonna have to give the 3% increase. We just have to figure out how we're gonna pass that increase along. But that increase,
I say we absorb, and I think we all agree with
Yeah,
that.
I think we
I
should
don't-
absorb it.
I don't think we should absorb the $4 a can for additional
Okay.
cans. Keep in mind, like, for you, you got one can.
Yeah, it's just me.
I know it. So the people with one can, so that one can that they have, they're
So
not getting an increase on it. It's being,
So if you get an additional can, they need to pay for it.
yes.
Okay, I'm fine with
That's,
that too.
does that make sense? You
Makes
must
sense.
got 2 cans at your house.
You got 2 cans, Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes
You finna pay some more money, honey.
Well, she said the city was gonna absorb it.
Not the extra can, they ain't.
Not the extra can. But that's just what I think.
Is this a vote
Okay.
tonight?
So we're
It's
going
not.
from
No.
850 to 950 for additional cans.
If you got additional can, but on your one can that you have is going down 46 cents.
Well, so that's why I like option 5 myself, but.
All right?
Like what?
The blue.
5. No, it's yellow.
But think about it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Every time there's an increase, it's spread across the board. So if they go up on, the additional cans, it's just broken up over all cans. So everybody is absorbing the increase. And to me, I don't think that's right. So if I don't have an additional can, I shouldn't be paying for the increase because we went up on people with additional cans.
I agree.
I mean, I just want to break even. The city break even.
But right now, we're not.
City
We're
shouldn't be
not.
in the garbage business.
Huh?
City shouldn't be in the garbage business. If you got a can, you should pay for it.
Sure.
I think you should come to the podium and say that, Paul. But yeah, but that's why I'm saying, and that's why we're talking about this now. We're just discussing it to decide which option we want to go on because this is.
I think the first one you talked about is gonna be okay.
But keep in mind, no matter what we do, we're getting a 3% increase.
That's right.
So I think the pink option is the best option. Laura?
So it'll go up, okay.
It's only gonna go up for those with additional cans.
Mm-hmm.
And we have not charged the people that have additional cans over several
It's going up
years.
for both.
No, it's not.
The
Look.
first part rate amount, $15.30 is what we're currently paying. If we go with this one, where they're gonna be paying $18.50.
Look, Laura,
This is for the orange. This is the new expense for April 1st.
look at the purple. Look at the purple, is what they're paying right now, it says current rate.
$18.96.
And then look at the pink.
Never mind.
For the one can, it's going down 46 cents.
Okay.
You see it?
Yeah, that makes sense now, because like, where it says current expense and then current rates, okay. That's how much we're paying, and that's how much
Yeah.
we're charging. Okay,
Yes.
that makes more
Mhm.
sense now.
Because we're-
It's kind of confusing the way that it's.
Yes.
And it was to show that we are
So we're not in the
charging
hole
less
then,
than what we were.
regular cards. That's how much we're charging.
That's right. She said we're just about break even every
Yeah.
year.
We are not exactly breaking even right currently. So if we don't make a change, we will still be barely, if even breaking even.
But I just think it's fair, especially on the additional cans. We're not increasing on the one can, but for the additional cans again, which is a choice, because I mean, you have to have one can. Everybody has to have one can.
But do you think it'll increase in litter when people start getting rid of the second cans? Because they're not gonna wanna pay that $4 difference.
Well, then they can turn that back in and they won't be charged.
She's saying they're gonna put the trash on the ground instead of in the extra trash can.
Well, now,
I
it's
mean,
my
we could-
understanding if it's not bagged and in the box, it doesn't get picked up, right?
Or maybe it'll encourage people to recycle.
We don't decide.
It's been effective out on Super Road, hasn't it?
We're gonna look at the glass half full. Thank you, Sam. So, but this is what, it's not, we're not gonna vote on it tonight, but we did need to discuss it. We're gonna vote on it, next time. So just look over it. I mean, the floor will still be open for us to, ask some additional questions next time if need be, but I just think we should go with the pink option.
I wanna hear from my constituents, and then I'll be able to make a sound decision on that.
Okay.
The pink or the yellow options would allow us to start breaking even on the
Yeah.
mulch.
Just make sure you have, when you take your poll, you have homes with one can and homes with multiple cans.
That's what I was looking at, that both people with one cart and people with two will both get increase. But then the city is not gonna be out any money.
But, listen, but the person with one cart always receives an increase, and the increases are because of the multiple carts. So even over here, the one person is still gonna get an increase because the multiple carts increase. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
makes sense, but, I agree with Laura, I want to talk some folks first.
Okay. All right.
Excuse me, I'll finish speaking.
All right, so what is your advice?
They have agreed that there's some more due diligence we need to do as far as the fundraising and the cost. And I understand what they're saying, but they're okay with coming back in 2 weeks and then be on board or not on board based on what we find out from some other cities that have done the same thing as we're doing.
Okay. And again, I don't have an issue with it, and I'm ready, you know, I can get on board with it as long as we're just not locked in. If we just don't have to say, we're gonna do this no matter what, you know, we're locked in financially.
I understand that. And so our conversation that we just had was, in order to help put minds at ease here, we want to encourage you to reach out to some of the other municipalities that have installed a Safe Haven Baby Box, get their feedback. We would much rather say, let's push pause for 2 weeks than have any kind of struggle, any kind of turmoil, any kind of contention within the council or within the city. And it also gives Wynn 2 weeks to further review the contract. He can call Safe Haven and talk about things. You all can get together on a conference call with them if you want to, whatever needs to happen. But would much rather say, as long as we can have some sort of a plan and an idea to say, okay, let's wait 2 weeks. We'll know, we can tell our potential donors and our supporters, we got this thing in the works, we're gonna wait 2 weeks, we present it again. We just like to know what's going on, but in order to make sure that this is seen just collectively as a positive thing, with nobody being able to come back later and go, well, I didn't know.
Yeah.
We're gonna say, pause, you all review, and we'll come back in 2 weeks and see what happens.
But I don't want you guys to leave thinking that this is a negative thing. Because also too, no matter what, in 2 weeks, it's gonna be on the agenda from my knowledge, since we discussed it, to be voted on. So don't think this is a negative thing and we're not on board and we're not excited.
No. We're not taking this as a negative thing.
Don't take it.
We're saying, we would much rather say, in order for this to be understood as a collective positive for our city and for the community and the county and the region, making sure you all have an opportunity to review this further, get any questions you have answered, call me with any questions you have. Matt's got my number. I'd be glad to talk with any of you, all of you. We can jump on a Zoom, we can come in person, we can meet for pizza. I don't care, whatever it takes. But we want to make sure that everybody has every opportunity to answer questions that they may have, and that we all see the agreement, Wynn can review the agreement more in detail, and the understanding that the city's not out any money. And if there's any money, I know the 40K was thrown out there. 40K is an estimate to finished product. The 16.5 is the raw cost of the box itself. So if there's any money, and I'm not anticipating this, but if there were to be any money that you all would say we're on the hook for, it's gonna be that cost of the box itself.
And that's all I want. And you know, and I wasn't here with the initial discussion, but that's all I want. I just want to understand the financial obligation on behalf of the city.
And we want you to.
And I want to thank y'all for your time and your effort that you're putting into this, because this is something that I feel very strongly about, and I'm 100% on board. It's something I've looked into and studied and researched for several years now. And I appreciate y'all taking this initiative to get this done for our
Thank
city.
you. We're here on behalf of our daughter. Act Families is her baby, no pun intended. This is her organization that she has started, and we're here to support her for that. But we're glad to do it. We're excited for this, for our city and for our community, because this really is a step in the right direction. It is an incredibly positive thing, and I don't take any of this discussion as negative. I'm great with some conversation and some discussion. If you all went in blindly and like sold whatever it costs, whatever it is, I'd be real concerned about our city council at that point. But the fact that we can have healthy conversation around it is great. Let's keep doing that and make sure that when we push play, all of us are on board with the exact same agenda.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
One more thing, Safe Haven Baby Box, they have Wednesday afternoon calls where you can just call their 1-800 line. It gets you in with a real person. Sometimes Joe, who is the owner. Other times it's, marketing people, but there's always a Wednesday afternoon call that you can jump on and ask any question that you want. So that happens every Wednesday afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
And when you're gonna, I guess once you,
And y'all are gonna send something to Matt. That
He was gonna send.
I'm gonna send a list of some of the other cities to you by email. You can distribute, you'll call mayors, council, city attorneys, whoever, to talk about any kind of the process. And we would love to hear some of that feedback too, because we've had very limited conversations with anybody else directly. But all of the other, any references that we've heard have all been positive about interactions with Safe Haven. But I'll send that to you tomorrow. Okay. Yeah.
thank you guys. All right, next on the agenda is discussion that is necessary by Animal Shelter Manager Stephanie Engel regarding rabies clinic. You doing all right tonight, Stephanie?
I am. How are you?
Good.
So as you know, we've had a number of bite cases, and that's been on the uptick. In every case, none of the owners of those dogs had active rabies certificates. That's what prompted me to look into a free rabies clinic for animals in our city. I had personally visited 76 households myself before we hired AC Garens, and none of those people had active rabies certificates. So it is a significant problem. It is a state law. It is Alabama Code 3, Chapter 7A, subsection 3, 7A through 16. So I got together with my counterparts at Greater Birmingham. They are providing 200 vaccines. We will be administering those vaccines along with Dr. Mullins on the 18th between 10 and 2 in the student parking lot behind the high school. It'll just be a drive-through, so it should go fairly easily, and I'm praying we have good weather. The other interesting thing about this is that I met somebody recently who was also concerned about this very same problem countywide. Her name is Candace Jackson. She is a licensed veterinary technician. She works at Trustful Emergency Pet Care. She's has 23 years of experience in that role. She was also concerned about the same problem, Talladega North. So she has one of the vets she works for is actually part of a group called the Christian Veterinary Mission. They typically travel to Indian reservations and help injured pets, vaccinate animals, etc. So we have coordinated, she will be in the north end of the county at Munford First Baptist with her group. They will be vaccinating animals there at low cost, but they are also doing like core vaccines plus rabies, and they're doing some free microchipping. So they will be at the north end of the county. I will be with my group at the south end of the county, and we hope to vaccinate about 500 animals. So I'm excited about that.
So are you just asking like just permission from us to have the clinic?
No, it's just,
Information.
I just, wanted you to know that it's happening and like public relations stuff, because I am concerned, about the greater ramifications of the uptick in dog bites. We've had, last week it was a young man who's 18. The week before that, it was a woman who delivers the mail. A couple weeks before that, it was a woman, this one breaks my heart, like a lot of people, she has a daily walking regimen to exercise. She was walking near Piggly Wiggly on 21 and a dog attacked her, and thank God somebody was walking into the store in the early morning hours and heard her screaming. And this gentleman rushed and, man, I don't know how he did it, but it was a big pit bull. He managed to literally save her. And before that, we got a call from a sweet young woman that's a FedEx delivery person. She was attacked, and I couldn't understand that, because all of us that order online, you get constant notifications where your package is. Now, if you got a dog that's got an issue, and it's canine aggressive or people aggressive, I would hope that people would make sure those animals were restrained somehow. It wasn't, and she called us a number of times. So that's where some of my concern is coming from. And I just wanted you to be aware of it. I think it's great that Greater Birmingham is coming out. I applaud Dr. Mullins for coming out. This woman, Candace Jackson, I can't wait to get to know her further and get involved with the Christian, animal missionary group. I think that's potentially a good partnership as well. So,
Thank you for that information, Stephanie.
Oh, you're welcome.
Do you guys have any questions for Stephanie on that?
She's next.
I know it, but I still didn't want to go to the next one, if you guys had some questions. All right, Stephanie, the next one is yours too. You're asking to extend the contract for your temporary workers. And it says if, so you're asking for how many people to be extended? Both, it's two, right?
Actually, one of them has come on board, and she's great. Her name is Shaylin Crow. She's awesome. We love her. Good worker, very mature, just wonderful. She's a blessing. We have found another worker that Temp Force has sent us. Her name is Fahima Kaderi. She is a little older. Her kids are grown and gone, and she's a quiet worker. She comes in, nose to the grindstone. She's wonderful. She really wants this job. My concern with her is that there is a little bit of a language barrier. She's Hindi. I have asked our civil service board to, get her scheduled for the test and an interview as soon as possible, because I think our temp worker agreement ends today or tomorrow.
But it seems like it's working out for you. I think this was a better arrangement for you versus just hiring people off the street, just, bringing them in through temp, just so they'll know what the job is and decide if they want to stay. So it seems like it's working out for you.
Yeah, so
it's only one person that you're asking to be extended, since the other one came on full time.
Yes.
How long are you asking for this extension?
Whenever they can get that test scheduled. I'm hoping a couple of weeks.
So just, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, like.
Let's aim for 4, and hopefully civil service.
And you'll come back in 4 weeks and let us know if something has changed?
Yes.
That's fair.
Is that
All right.
good?
It's just a fair request.
Why would you, so if we have a contract with the temp force, as an overarching contract, wouldn't that include anybody we hire?
So.
It's just per person?
It is, and then Stephanie is the only department that has part-time employees too. So we're doing hers is set up a little different because she can't keep anybody because of the extent of the work at the animal shelter. So when we go through all that paperwork and we utilize all those resources to hire people, they'll be out there a week or two and just realize they don't even want to be there. So now we got to start the process all over again. So with, us allowing her to, hire people through temp service, it's not costing us as much if they come and stay a day. And then they go back, 'cause temp service is helping with sending people out there.
So again, why couldn't you just have an overarching agreement with temp service so that you don't have to keep coming back to the city council every time you need to do this?
Because we don't allow any, part-time employees.
Right.
So hers is set up different. And Cassie, you probably wanna explain it more to Greer.
So the temp worker is specific to positions, and we have to budget for the temp worker's expense.
Right.
So that's the reason why the council allots for a period of time that you can have a temp worker or a certain amount of money for a temp worker. If it exceeds that, then council has to approve and give more money in that line.
Well, don't we have positions, number of positions for the shelter? Like, the shelter has
We do.
4 part-time.
So, just for clarification's sake, the easiest thing with the animal shelter, just like Tiffany was saying. So, for normal applications, you come in, you apply, you've got to go through the test, you've got to go through the interview process, there's a time lag. If we hire everybody straight off the street, they've never worked out there, they don't know what they're getting, then they get 2 days into the job and they decide, I don't want it. If there's not another person on that list,
We gotta start the process all over again.
But you're doing
But-
that, you're doing that process anyway with the temp person.
They're doing it. The temp service is doing it, not us. And it's quicker to get a body in place.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, so the temp service is taking on the cost of going through the testing and all of that.
Yes.
so the temp service is not handling testing. They're directly hiring in, they handle all.
But they're not having a
HR
test.
stuff.
Because they're part-time, so they're not having a test. So like, we hired 2 temp service people, I'm sorry, Cassie, we hired 2 temp people. As she just said, one of those people came in, they love it, we just hired them full-time. So now this person know what the job entails, they know what they're getting into, and they wanna stay. So that helped versus just us trying to post a job, get people to come in and apply. We go through all this paperwork and resources, and then they get out there and they only stay 1 day.
Yeah, I'm perfectly understanding of why we use the temp service. I get that. I just thought that if the budget says you have 4 positions and you've got 2 that we've hired full-time and you've got a part-timer, you've got 4 part-time positions.
Remember, we didn't do it like that. So, and I think she's 1 person extra than what's budgeted, right?
Supposed to get an
Yeah.
extra person.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason we're doing it like this. That's why she has to come back every time when the time has ran out. So the time has ran out, she has to come back and ask us because we have to approve additional monies for her to have the temp service person.
But during the budget time, we said, and I hate to, I know this is.
No, go ahead. I know what you're about to say.
The
We did.
budget- We told her at budget time that we would allow a lot for another, a person.
This still is an extra person. This is an additional person on what we allowed during the budget time. And that's what was discussed when she asked for the temp service person, because she's shorthanded, they had all these vacations, they had people out sick, and just with the influx of all the animals, the amount of people that we budgeted for, they can't handle the work. So that's why this is additional, that's why she's having to come back and ask for additional money each time. So this is above and beyond what we budgeted. But we discussed that though, when we decided to add the additional person. But
This is on top of the budget.
this is on top of the budget, and let me tell you this, so you don't be surprised. If it's working with the amount of people that she has right now, once we do the budget in July, August, or whatever, she is gonna ask for an additional person, so that's where this is going.
We currently have 5, and we don't include Brandon, who's our ACO officer, that's separate, because he doesn't work really in any of the job capacities that are typically.
She's technically
So-
100% staffed, and she has a temp person.
But they're overrun and they need the additional help.
I'm just saying it so that you'll understand, that's what's gonna happen. That's exactly, am I right? Yeah.
Well,
You're
they've made the
exactly
request.
correct.
I'm sorry.
They've made the request for the last 2 years for
Yeah.
additional personnel.
And we
But didn't we give them an
did,
additional personnel?
she got 1.
That would be this, go ahead, I'm
Oh, I
sorry.
was just saying, we're not fully staffed right now.
Technically, you are, on paper, you are. You're 100%, Yeah, you're 100% staffed based on the positions that we budgeted. That's just how it is on paper. But according to the amount of animals and the workload and all the things that you guys are having to deal with, that's why we approved the additional body part-time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
We're meeting the needs of the shelter.
Yes.
That provides.
But
for the
basically,
community.
technically, you are 100% staffed.
Okay.
So even, say you got 10 people out there, I know you don't. Say we decide to take 8 people away and you only got 2 people, that means you're 100% staffed with 2 people. Yeah.
So what are we at right now capacity wise?
5
No. How many dogs do you
animals,
have now?
I'm sorry.
Probably 130, probably about 130 animals.
130. We do have some animals leaving on the 28th. We had a shipment go out on the 14th.
I'm leaving the 29th.
So our ACO is bringing in, well, he was averaging 80 animals. I don't know what we'll be at this month, but we were pushing 80 animals a month coming in off the streets, which brings us, to another issue. And what we're trying to do is move, about half of those a month if we can. That's a lot of extra work for us to do that just because of USDA requirements that we have to uphold to transfer animals across interstate lines. It's a lot. So we're happy to do it. Something we believe in as far as, trying to help adoptable animals. But it is, it's a lot of work. A lot. Most
So
people
that's
don't
less
understand.
That's less than when you came to the budget, there were 200 animals, so you're down.
Not for
Capacity,
long.
200 was the number you quoted.
We have times during the year when we spike and we're coming into another one. We were spiking early for some reason. January, we had 88 animals come in on top of what we already had. So if we managed to get out 40 and we're bringing in 80, we're still over capacity.
Right.
We have people, dumping animals. Here's another thing that I'd like to bring up, and Nate, you know this person that I'm referencing. I'm not gonna mention her name because she has to remain anonymous because she does donate to us, but she did mention you specifically. So we got a call about a dog that everybody knows about. It's missing a paw, okay? We were told a couple different stories. One, that people were setting bear traps. 2, that there had been a group some years ago that were taking machetes and literally cutting animals' legs. So this dog has no paw. I've seen it for years. We got a call from this woman that you know. It managed to, for some reason, it had been in the cemetery on 21. I sent our ACO over there and he was rebuffed quite rudely. So the dog ended up, he came back and talked to me about it and we just let it go. The dog ended up wandering into this lady's shed and she called me and she said, "You're not gonna believe it, that dog without a paw is asleep in a chair in the shed." So it took me about an hour to get that dog yesterday. Our ACO was off because he was in class all weekend, so I went over there to try and get the dog. It took me an hour. It was somewhat aggressive, scared. Couldn't get a muzzle on it. I finally put a blanket over it. She held the catch pole and I managed to get it, in the truck, picking it up, blanketed. But it disappeared this morning. We're not sure if it was taken or dug out. We had another dog that was brought in by AC and it had a spring lock on its gate, and that dog was taken. So that's frustrating for us when we send our ACO out and we bring these animals in and then, somebody comes in and takes them or lets the trap door open on the traps.
I have a question. Were you able to trap the dogs in the elderly lady's yard on Cullen Road? Her son has circled around. I know I included you in on that conversation as well.
We brought in one a long time ago.
I have not seen those dogs.
Okay.
I know that Brandon's been out there a couple of
Yeah.
times. I know that before Brandon was hired, Stephanie went out.
Yeah.
I have not seen them lately, but I haven't.
What did they look like? Because I know we got calls about 2 animals recently, and I know
The brown, I think they're brown, and then one's got spots and black.
Like longer haired dogs.
Yeah.
So,
I just was curious what the update, because I know that the Sun has asked me, and I forwarded it over to the mayor, multiple times, what the status was.
They'll probably have to just follow up with you on that, Laura, so hopefully they did. But I do have one question, Stephanie.
Yeah.
So again, like Drew said, the last time you were here, you were over 200 animals, and we gave you some additional help. So is the additional help not helping with the animal load or the workload? Because it seems like on the outside looking in, it seems as if it is. If you're down that many animals versus when you were asking for the help.
What we're down is just a flux, so we have these spikes every year, and we had an early one recently, like I said, where we ended up with 80 animals coming in 1 month, and we tried to get 40 out, and then the next month, I believe he brought in 88. So we're just overrun, so I hate to say this, but I am euthanizing, right? Because of capacity, of sickness, of aggression. Those are the 3 reasons we do it. If the animal is aggressive toward canines, people, if it is sick, if it has been injured, and we have had a lot of injured animals. In fact, yesterday I had to go pick up a dog that had been hit by a car. So, we're doing that. We are expecting our usual times are always like in the fall, late fall, and early spring. April, May is when because litters of dogs and cats come in. We had an early spike, and we just sort of came through that, and now it's starting to build again with people asking to bring in litters. You had a litter of 7 come in. Mm-hmm. And when we have tons of puppies like we've had, we sent a bunch out to foster. That's a lot of work. I mean, a lot.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can just kind of just get an average, see when our busy season is, and just
Spring and fall.
continue to do better. So hopefully one day we'll figure out how to just take care of this issue that we're having.
You're gonna roll this will go on the next agenda, correct?
Well,
No.
We voted on it tonight?
No, it's on, yeah. And I don't have an issue with it, so we're gonna extend it for 4 weeks.
Oh, I see it right
We're gonna
there.
extend the temp
For
contract.
4 weeks.
For 4 more weeks. All right, and because she's prepared, the only thing is, this is the only thing, and I don't think any of us thought about it. Even if we extend this temp contract for 4 weeks, Stephanie is waiting on the Civil Service Board to get a test ready for her to take a test. But Stephanie, I don't think you can do that. You don't have a position budgeted to hire another person, right?
She does.
She does?
If I'm not mistaken, there's been a little bit of turnover.
Oh, okay. All right, well, that makes sense. Okay, then.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't see an issue with extending it for 4 more weeks. And if something changes, Stephanie, just come back and let us know, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. All right, next item, discussion is necessary by interim city clerk treasurer Cassie Epperson regarding replacement of the flagpole located at the Fort William Street and Highway 280 intersections. And I think I'll talk with Cassie about this one. There is some money in the flag account. I think we should just use the money that's already been budgeted in the flag account. And then if we do have to have some additional monies when replacing flags, they can just come back and ask for the budget to be amended. But there is some money in the flag account.
Yeah, there's
So
no
it sounds
problem
like
in
there's
that.
only 4,000, so we would have to come up with another $914.
Is that right, Cassie?
For them to be able to purchase the pole and the flags that we're needing, we will have to have additional funds.
All right.
Go ahead and run those.
All right, but I do think we need to use the money out of the flag pole account first.
That's
All right. All right, next item, discussion is necessary by interim city clerk treasurer Cassie Epperson regarding entering into a 3-year agreement with AMIC as municipal insurance provider. And I think we talked about this last time. I think we're all in agreement that AMIC isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, we gotta have it.
And this is just something that we need to do. Y'all have any questions on this one?
I'm good.
All right. Next, item, discussion that is necessary by interim city clerk treasurer Cassie Epperson regarding the business license tax report due March 31st, 2026.
That's just the annual report. It's a new one this year. They haven't had to do it previously, so we'll submit it and it's ready for approval.
All right. Next item, discussion that is necessary by interim city clerk treasurer Cassie Epperson regarding rescinding council action on agenda item number 11 at the November 18, 2025 city council meeting due to contractual conflict with prior service provider. What is this, Cassie?
So that action was the city council approving to enter into a contract with Forerunner Technologies for the telephone system we are not able to exit our crescendo contract for telephone services. So this would rescind, and I have to applaud Forerunner. They've already refunded us money and had no issue whatsoever.
All right, so we're locked in for how much longer with them?
Till 2029.
So what kind of contract was that? I mean, when was that contract entered into?
May of 2024.
And we contracted that for 5 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And we voted on it in July of 2024.
The city council voted for that before it was put in place.
Apparently so.
No, it was after it was put in place.
But we're having to rescind voting for this contract because we're not able to get out of, another one.
The current contract.
Yeah.
Have we tried to get out of this contract legally?
Wind's shaking his head, Jeff.
We can exit. It will be very costly to exit.
And-
It would not be a wise investment.
Well, let me ask you, are the issues bigger than the dollar amount?
No.
All right.
That makes sense.
I still get calls from people, and it could be because they're contacting the old numbers.
Well-
You know, and that's something we need to advertise.
So what we need to do, and we were talking a little bit before the meeting started, we do need to advertise the new numbers. Need to be on that reader board, on all Facebook pages, city websites, so on and so forth. And also too, even if, there's websites for each department, we need to reach out to them and everybody's sharing the same information so that they do know how to get in contact with us. And then just share it every few days until we just wear people out. All right, also, I wanted to ask too, I don't know how long ago it's been, we paid for a social media policy. And that social media policy should have been taken care of. I know we paid for it. So I was gonna ask if we can get on the agenda next time to ask Jane to come and present that social media policy that we paid for. So we can just, she can present it and we can go over it.
Now, you know, there's one for elected officials, but we need one for
I think it was, if I'm not mistaken,
system-wide.
I think it was both. I really do think it was both.
We have it in our email somewhere.
Well, I don't have it.
Yeah.
So, but we need that to be resent out to all council members and Jane to, hopefully come and present that to us, if that's okay. Cause she's the one that took care of that and she worked with these people and,
Charge like
If it's
$9,000.
not what we're looking for, would we like to get something else?
I'd like the mayor to look at it.
Yeah, I would too.
but we all need to look at it, but
Yeah.
then too, we don't wanna put the cart before the
That's
horse.
right.
Because if we've
Yeah.
already paid for it, then maybe we can
Right.
tweak it to what works for us instead of just throwing the baby out with the
Yeah.
bathwater and starting over. I don't think we need to do that. We do need to take a look at what we've already paid for. All right. I do want to ask this mayor, and this is just a request for me. I don't know how everybody else feels about this. I would like for all department heads to be at the work session. I don't think they need to be at the council meeting, but I do think they need to be at the work session, whether they have something on the agenda or not. Only reason is a lot of times questions come up and we really can't get the questions answered. And it's just simple stuff, but I don't think we need to have to wait to the next meeting, to get an answer on just certain things. And also too, that's the only time that the department heads will have the council in front of them so that we can interact. And that's just me. We used to do it like that, but when we were changing interim city clerks, we just stopped doing it. But that's just something I would like for all department heads to be a part of the work session. All right, also too, I wanted to say this. I haven't had a chance to meet Mr. Dan Parrott. It would be nice for him to come too so we can introduce him and people can just put a face with our new street department superintendent, because I mean, they play a big role in our everyday operations in the city. So it would just be nice to know who Mr. Dan Parrott is.
I think I've been attending the utility board meetings, and they have like a guest employee at most of those meetings, and they introduce them, and I've been thinking about doing that with department heads, so I agree.
So maybe we can start that. So at the next meeting, you can pick and we'll just go down the road at each meeting and we'll introduce them. Yeah, I think that'll be good.
Introduce all new employees for every department.
Well, yeah, but not that, but just have them here.
Big of a turnover though.
Yeah, but just have them here and then at each meeting, the mayor can just introduce them. All right, do anybody have anything else before we close the work
I
session?
got two things.
All right,
Mayor Hubbard, the PR scope of work, have you sent it out yet, or has Cassie got it ready yet to be sent out?
No, we've, all right, so the moving parts you have with that.
Yes, sir.
Y'all approve or discuss, revise as building the website.
Right.
That's a 6 to 8 month, process. I've been on the fence whether, we wait till that point and then do it all at the same time, but I'm leaning toward going ahead and getting that PR, communications, all of that together, so whoever is decided, whoever's chosen, can go ahead and work with Revise as they build that website. So
That's smart.
That's kind of a catalyst to, I kind of put it on the back burner because Wynn has become my new best friend, dealing with past stuff. But anyway, that's pushing itself up to the priority list. Even things y'all discussed tonight, like even the phone system and getting phone numbers out. A lot of that could be addressed with new website, new social media.
That's right.
Effort. All of that can be addressed comprehensively.
Yes, sir.
So
I knew you'd have an answer for it.
that's where we are.
And there's one more, I'm sorry, Mayor. Was
I
you
just
done?
said it's slow, but it's happening.
Yes, sir. There's one more thing I want to address. In the policy and procedures, Mike, you may be able to help me because you've been here longer than most anybody in the room. It says that the council hires all department heads. That's not necessarily true. The state of Alabama says the council hires 3. But in our policy and procedures, it says the council hires all department heads. And to prevent any more litigation down the road or any more trouble, I think we need to look at that maybe at next meeting or the meeting after that and maybe pull that out of our policy and procedures because it's not true. We only hire 3, and that is the city clerk, the police chief, and the fire chief.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I think we messed up and we actually interviewed Mike for his position, and we really wasn't supposed to, but Mike was courteous enough to actually go through the interview process anyway. So that is something I would like to do, and I see Wynn shaking his head, so he must agree with me.
What about this, and Nate, I agree with you wholeheartedly, what you're saying, but what about the Civil Service Board Act by legislation that says?
Mr. Rumsey told me yesterday I was absolutely correct, it shouldn't be in there.
Okay, because the
That's
Civil
what he
Service,
told me to-
yeah,
I
the
don't mean to
Civ-
interrupt you, but Mr. Ramsey told me the same thing.
Okay.
That the state law, it was
supersedes.
Fairfield.
That's right, Coach.
Cassie, you remember the case, Fairfield?
City of Fairfield, it's Scott versus Coachman.
Coachman, that's it, and that precedes civil service.
yeah. And also too, guys, just remember, we don't want to get into this discussion because it's not a part of our work session.
That's
So
right.
We're gonna put it
Yeah.
on the next work session and you can bring all your documents and we can,
I just wanted to put that out there. We need
No,
to,
I agree, I just
We'll look at that policy.
didn't know if we needed to talk to the Civil Service Board about changing their policy on it.
So why is this coming to a forefront?
because we've had so many issues in the back and forth, because some people are saying the council hires these people and some people are saying the council only hires
Is
this
there any
person.
pending hiring that I'm not aware of?
No,
I
but
think
it,
the catalyst for this was the
Are there
street
any pending hires
superintendent
that I'm not aware of?
recently.
no, but even if there were, we would only be notified if it was a department head.
Right, and we've
But-
established
but
that
we
the
only-
department heads are fire, police, and city clerk.
City clerk, but in our rules, it says that we hire all department heads, but that's not true. The state law says that we only hire 3. And the state law supersedes anything else. So we need to change our policies and procedures to match the
align with
state,
that code.
to the state law.
Service Board
Yes.
needs to change
Yeah.
theirs too.
Well, I think they're on top of it now, because they were all there when, the catalyst for this current conversation stems from the street superintendent. That's the last department head to be hired, and there was confusion with that.
Okay.
And then you had transition taking place and that, so that kind of answer those, resolve those questions.
But something we gotta do as a city and the mayor, if we got job criteria and things like that before we hire anybody, they need to meet this job criteria before they can even put in for the job. And we're not doing that. We might as well throw the book out the window
But that's the
and
mayor's
let's just hire who we want to, how we want to.
But again, that's gonna be a part of the next meeting discussion when we talk about who hires and who does what. So just make sure you write that stuff down so that can be discussed too.
Oh, that's ingrained in my head. Yeah.
You don't have to write it down.
Thank you, Madam President.
All right. Okay, anybody else? Anybody else got anything before we close the work session?
Now, we are advertising for a city clerk treasurer, right? I did have a question about that. I saw the advertisement and it said just city clerk, and the job description didn't have anything about the treasurer part. So I had a lot of people calling me, asking me, hey, I want to apply for this job. Well, you know, is it just the council's, you know, basically secretary instead of the treasurer part? And so I just wanted a little clarification on that so I could go back to the people who I represent and accurately tell them.
Yes, ma'am. I had been questioned, so I went ahead and pulled the information. So the job description itself, the official job title is city clerk. There is a line on the very back page that says that the treasurer is designated by the city council. So all of the treasurer responsibilities are within the job description. The knowledge base that is required relates to the treasurer responsibilities. But basically, the job is city clerk. Once that job is permanently hired, that is when the council will also designate them as the city treasurer and they pick up the hyphen treasurer.
But isn't this still like false advertisement for it to just say city clerk and then, like, say I go and apply for this job, I'm thinking I'm only gonna be responsible for the city clerk's position, and then once I'm hired, I'm also designated the treasurer position, but also in the test is specifically spelled out for city clerk and treasurer duties.
Yes, ma'am. All of the treasurer requirements are within the job description.
Sure.
It talks about those duties and the knowledge base that has to be there, which is what prompts what the test is made out of. So if they read through the job description itself, they will see all of those treasurer responsibilities reflected.
Who wrote this job description?
That was when it was adopted in 22, so it would have been.
But is this the last one? Laura, didn't you have a copy of one that was adopted in 23?
There was something brought up about name changes. I don't remember exactly what the date of it was, but there was.
I'm thinking it was in 23.
Yeah, there was another proposal, maybe to separate them.
Well, yeah, that was, but we decided not to separate.
Yeah, we
them,
decided not
but
to, we can afford to.
To me, advertising it this way does seem as if though they were separated. And even the way you read it, Cassie, it says, you know, it says designated as treasurer for the city of Sylacauga upon approval of council. So this still is reading like it's optional.
So the reason why this job description was put in as a city clerk with that designation is that at the time, the interim city clerk had found a 1960s ordinance that stated that the city council designated who treasurer was. So that was the reason why it was written in that manner.
I'm really, and I could be mistaken, I really think that there was something else approved.
Yeah, there was something
Yeah.
else.
That's the job description that was approved. That's the final approval that we had job description. They have presented some options as far as splitting the job and things like that, but nothing else has been approved except for what you have in front of you. That's the most current.
Let me see what this date on this document is.
Herbert, have you looked at this?
I'm familiar with it, I know where I stand right now, but we'll have that conversation, I reckon, at a later date.
Yeah, we will, because I have one right here, and this is the one that I remember, but it's not signed. This isn't a signed copy. This is the one that we discussed, and we decided to go with. And I'm gonna have to go back and look at the minutes, because it was always city clerk and treasurer.
So city clerk is the original one from 2008 before it was updated to this one in 22. It was just city clerk then. And that's the reason why it was kept, there was talk back and forth about.
I know, it was a lot of talk,
and
because there were certain
treasurer.
people who wanted to, split it for different reasons.
I honestly was one of those people who wanted it split, but looking at the budget, I mean, personally, I don't think we can financially afford to, but I would like to see it eventually split. I think it would, you know, be very positive to split it.
What of the duties that are in this job description, what would be considered treasurer?
Exactly, but look, this is what it says. So look, if you look at this, to me, this is just like false advertisement. It just says designated as treasurer for the city of Sylacauga. So therefore, if that's the case, then the treasurer's responsibility should be in this job description.
When she's saying it's intertwined in this
It's
job
intertwined,
description.
so
So
you-
it needs to be pulled out to me and stated as treasurer duties and city clerk duties, like
Yeah.
y'all are saying. But
When you-
again, this has been done since 2022. Looks like the job description.
I'm a- I'm gonna look, I'm pretty sure the one that I have is the one that was approved. I just can't find it. I'm gonna do some more digging. Because there was
another one we got
It was,
after this.
it was a big, like, this was a big deal.
But the city
Yeah.
clerk treasurer has always been, Mr. Ham, were you not a city clerk treasurer?
Yes, ma'am.
It's always been that case, you know, that way in our city.
I know it's been combined, yeah.
But
But again, on your job description, it was just city clerk. The treasurer designation was from council.
I had both roles.
everybody always has,
Did you
but
have two job descriptions?
No.
Mr. Ham, did y'all have a job description at that, I think?
I'm sorry.
Did you have a job description for city clerk during that time?
I'm pretty sure.
I was thinking, I
don't
believe.
remember that far back.
I know it, I'm pretty sure
I
it is.
had both responsibilities.
Responsibilities.
And I can't speak to a job description.
I know this, we don't wanna do any false advertising. And I know when you get over at the civil service board, you're gonna have accounting questions, you're gonna have city clerk's questions, and we're gonna have all different kinds of stuff. When Livingston, does this set us up for anything?
This one I'm looking at now,
Yeah,
it appears to me that it's just that there's in the job description, stuff that had to do with finance.
But if they're serving as two different roles as the clerk and the treasurer, it shouldn't be
they shouldn't be
stated.
serving two different roles based on this right here. It's
Yeah,
all, because
just be one.
whoever the council decides as is the clerk, let me throw that out there, that is the clerk, they have to do the treasurer duties because they're still one.
That's not
Together.
what this is saying. It's saying designated as treasurer for the city of Sylacauga upon approval by city council. This is saying this could go either way.
Yeah.
To me, I'm reading this as it could go either way.
In that
You see what I'm
1960s
saying?
Yeah.
ordinance, it gave the option that you could have designated another person. They never have. But that was a 1960s ordinance that came up during the time that this job description was being developed.
I mean, if you get three people who don't want this person as a treasurer, then what are you
Yeah, what are you gonna do
You're
at
looking
that
at a
point?
split job.
They
the
don't
way
get to have a
should.
you don't get to have a
But
treasurer.
then you gotta hire somebody, like Laura was saying, and we don't have the budget to hire another person.
And as of right now, Tiffany, as the council member for District 2, Tiffany is gonna request approval that they be appointed as the treasurer.
Now, I am gonna say this,
Yeah.
I personally think it needs to say city clerk treasurer.
I think to be
But, you know,
transparent, it does.
I'm on board with whatever y'all think we need to do.
I'll say this today, I had it posted, what y'all posted, we had like 10 or 12 applicants for it, and then I was asked to take it down because it was false advertising.
To me, it
Who
is.
asked you to take it down?
I won't disclose that.
Well, I mean, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me, I hadn't talked to you.
Or you're saying,
Maybe it
you were
was me.
advertising this on your own website?
Well, it was posted. It was posted
It was
on
posted from
the,
the city clerk's office.
from the
So-
city
And he
clerk's
just reposted.
And each time we have posted for city clerk, even back after Trish Carden retired, every time it's been posted as city clerk. So there's not a false
This isn't new.
advertising.
But in our meeting minutes, anytime the city clerk treasurer is mentioned, it even says city clerk treasurer so-and-so.
Well, y'all need to show us another job description if y'all are saying this.
I
is
got
not-
one, but it's not signed. I got the one that we have, but I don't have the signed copy. All right, so we're just gonna have to push this to the next meeting because I mean, it's like tomato with some of us, but I mean, I do feel that it's false advertisement, just the way it's advertised and the way is being read. And Cassie, this isn't anything negative towards you, it's just, I mean, this is just in black and white, it is what it is. But that's just not what I remember, us doing.
See right here in the meeting minutes that were provided, city clerk treasurer Kim Morris to approve.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying, typically, the process has been, when they're appointed by council and hired, then that's when they take on that designation at that time and tack on the dash treasurer.
All right, okay.
I just don't want us to see set up for more litigation by, you know,
The mayor, the city attorney said we was good. He nodded his head.
He's good, what, he's good with
He's saying that the treasurer duties are within the job description.
It does, and the treasurer duties need to be, spelled out specifically. That's just my thoughts. All right, so I guess we're gonna discuss this some more on the next meeting, Cassie. And we're gonna go ahead, any more things on the work session, I'm sorry?
no.
Is that everybody, oh,
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
it's okay, I mean, that's what the work,
It needed to be.
that's what the work session is for, guys. I mean, that's what this is for. This is where we do our work. It's the only time we're all together. All right, so we're gonna close the work session?
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. I'm doing a roll call vote. I'm here, Greer Bisignani, Nate Brewer, Tim Vincent, Laura Barlow Heath. Invocation was provided by Mayor Hubbard, and now we're gonna stand for the pledge of allegiance.
The flag is over there by Mayor Hubbard, we're missing the main one.
So we're gonna turn this way.
Yes.
All right, y'all ready?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't think nobody else said it. I know, it's a habit. All right, Mayor Hubbard, do you have a report for us tonight?
All right, and I apologize if I'm sure I'm gonna leave something out, but these are just reminders of what we've got coming up. Of course, you know, our largest festival, what we're known for, Marble Festival. That's gonna begin next month, April 7th through the 18th. This is something new that Laura and the Chamber are doing this year, the State of series, and the State of the City will be on Tuesday, April 14th at First Baptist Church from 11:30 to 1. We're gonna have our department heads there and that type of stuff. I would like to invite and encourage council, if y'all could attend to, they serve a light lunch from 11:30 to 12, and then from 12 to 1 is when we're giving the State of the City. So if you could attend, that would be greatly appreciated. Just a reminder of what Miss Stephanie spoke about tonight. The rabies clinic at Sylacauga High School's back parking lot is going to be Saturday, April 18th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Park and Rec update. Steve, if I leave something out, you correct me. They've got the big Easter egg hunt this Saturday at Noble Park. What are the times on that, Steve?
Starts at 9.
Start beginning at 9 a.m. Of course, big day always in Sylacauga is opening day of baseball. So that's going to be on the 28th and 10 a.m. out at the complex. And this put a smile on my face. Steve and them, they've ordered the new playground equipment for Beth Yates. So looking forward to that work beginning soon. That's going to be nice. And then the final thing, of course, we know about the Sylacauga High School boys basketball team making it to the state championship game, and they will be invited to be recognized in our April 7th meeting. So, and I apologize for anything that I left out, but thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, at this time, the Sylacauga City Council will enter into an executive session pursuant to Section 36-25A-7A3 of the Code of Alabama, 1975, as advised by City Attorney Livingston Jr. for an anticipated time of when? How long you think this executive session is gonna last?
I don't really know. I don't think it'll be real long. It just depends on what questions come up.
So what are you thinking, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? What are you thinking? Not over, what? Not over 20 minutes? All right. So not to exceed 20 minutes. So,
We've got several people that need to be included.
and all these people that are listed are must-haves in this executive session? Because you have, and I'm gonna read it. It says, at this time, the following parties will enter into said executive session. Sylacauga City Council members, Mayor Hubbard, City Attorney Livingston Jr., Interim City Clerk Treasurer Epperson, Building Services Director Weststone, Building Inspector Kelly, Fire Inspector Tolan, and Administrative Assistants Giddens. So all these people absolutely have to be in this executive session?
Yes.
All right. Okay, upon request, I need a motion by a council member to enter into an executive session.
Motion.
I heard Laura. I need a second.
Second.
Heard Tim. All in favor?
Yay.
All right, so we're gonna enter into executive session at 6:35. We do ask that everybody else whose name I did not call leave the room. You guys can wait outside. We will resume after, not to exceed the 20 minutes.
Which exception are you citing to the open meetings law to go into executive session?
Here you go, Mr. Sir. Can we have another copy, up here if you need it? I'm sorry. Yeah, he'll turn it off and he'll. Okay, so now I need a motion by a council member to exit the executive session and reconvene the meeting.
I make a motion, we exit the executive session and reconvene.
All right, and we're, okay, second. So I got a motion from Nate, a second from Tim, and we're reconvening at 6:54 PM. All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? All right. Next item on the agenda, I need a motion to adopt or amend the, agenda.
I make a motion, we amend the agenda action item to, pay Gerald Parrott the amount of $12,861.26 in, contributions for back pay.
All right, for data power. All right, need a second? Anybody? You said second,
Greer
Greer?
got you a
All
second.
right, all in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? All right, motion passes. Next item, approved minutes of the city council work session held on March 3rd, 2026. I need a motion by a council member.
Motion.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Next item, approved minutes of the regular city council meeting held March 3rd, 2026. I need a motion by a council member.
Motion.
I need a second. Second. All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Next item, action that is necessary to approve resolution 40-2026 for a managed services contract for IT services with B-Tech Incorporated. I need a motion?
Motion.
I need a second? Second. I heard Laura, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Next item, action that is necessary to approve resolution 41-2026 for website development and management for the city with revised. Need a
Motion.
I don't think she turned my thing back on. She did this year. I just realized. Cassie, you'll flip my thing back on?
I don't either.
Who was that motion?
Nay.
Second? Second. I just realized it because it wasn't.
Laura,
echoing.
second.
All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? All right, motion passes. Next item, action that is necessary to approve a 60-day extension from the council meeting held March 3rd, 2026 to the agreement for nuisance and abatement remediation expiring Saturday, May 2nd, 2026 for decent properties located on 8th Street. I need a motion by.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Tim, all in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. All right, new business, I need an action that is necessary to approve resolution 42-2026 to approve the annual business license tax report for fiscal year 2025. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Next item, action is necessary to approve resolution 43-2026 to enter into an agreement with Alabama Municipal Insurance Corporation, aka AMIC, for a 3-year period as the municipal liability insurance provider. Need a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Next item, action that is necessary to approve an extension for temporary worker for the Sylacauga Animal Shelter for a period to expire effective, I'm just gonna put for a period of 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
That's right.
Need a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
I heard Tim. All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Next item, action that is necessary to rescind council action on agenda item 11 at the November 18, 2025 city council meeting, which authorized entering into an agreement with Forerunner Technologies for telephone services. Need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Next item, action that is necessary to approve accounts payable invoices for fiscal year 2025 in the amount of $142.01. Need a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Tim, all in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Next item, action that is necessary to approve accounts payable invoices for fiscal year 2026 in the amount of $2,210,792.44. Need a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Next item, action that is necessary to approve February payroll in the amount of $539,060.76. Need a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? Motion passes. Now for our add item, action that is necessary to approve payroll correction for Gerald D. Parrott for the combined total of $12,861.26, less the appropriate related tax and retirement contributions applied. I need a motion?
Motion.
Second? Anybody? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? All right, motion passes.
I would like to say that I only voted yes to that because I know there's other places that still are going through the Civil Service Board about some grievances, but I don't want to see us get into any more additional litigation.
Well, that's why, what Nate brought up earlier, we need to go back and change it so that there's no issues on who we hire. All right? Okay? Now it's time for anyone to address the council. No action to be taken at this meeting. Please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record prior to addressing the council. Remember, no action will be taken at this meeting. Is there anyone? All right. Okay.
I'm still wondering why you're still here, but.
I'm waiting for Nate.
Ah.
I hope not. Can you call me?
All right, so having no further business to discuss, I need a motion to adjourn,
Motion.
or we can stay. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Yay.
Any nays? All right,
Time to adjourn.
time of adjournment is 6:59 PM.